So let's do age, name, and occupation this time.
Okay. My name's Soda. I'm 27 years old, and I'm a teacher.
So what do you teach at school?
I teach elementary school special education.
Did you always teach special ed, or did you find yourself...
I didn't always teach special ed. I didn't always teach at all. I just found myself later on in life finding this as a passion.
What were you doing before teaching?
I was a camp counselor and a director of summer camps.
Been with kids.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but since college, like before, I guess that's where you start working. So yeah, since college.
Has it always been just like wanting to have experiences with children, like through that developmental cycle?
No, honestly, I was so against working with kids when I was younger because like I had a really like dysfunctional, tumultuous childhood.
Oh, wow.
I didn't really like kids because I didn't really like myself, but I found working with students to be really healing, and they're actually super awesome, and I can't imagine not working with them. So
yeah, that's the thing that I find from like the limited scope that I talk with teachers on Survivor interviews about, I guess, is like this idea that you discover a lot about yourself through those people that you're interacting with, especially at such, I imagine, a foundational age.
Yes, it's 100% foundational. Like they need to learn real people skills, like as soon as they're out the womb, like communication, like advocacy for themselves. It's so important. So I'm there to like give them that push they need and the tools they need to be independent with that kind of thing.
So then what brings you to the Survivor classroom?
My
what made you decide to step foot in the sands of
Fiji?
My goodness.
I've been playing Survivor in real life for my whole life, so this seemed like the ultimate hero's journey for me. I've been picking up pieces of myself from all over the world and all over different places and putting my puzzle together, and I know there's a piece out here somewhere, and I'm ready to find her. Maybe she's wrapped up inside an idol, who knows?
I was going to say, it could be a puzzle piece idol. You might have just manifested something.
I'm all about manifesting. The universe has brought me through so many things, so I am so glad to be here. I feel like I belong here.
Elaborate on that you have kind of lived Survivor your entire life.
I mean, I really grew up in a really dysfunctional household. The person raising me dealt with mental health challenges. I didn't know my dad. He battled with addiction. I know that because my biological mother battled with addiction. Wow. And I found him recently, and he confirmed that for me. And so, yeah, from a young age, I kind of had to just make my own way. But I fell into education as a way to kind of be myself outside of this kind of dysfunction in my home. So that's how I was able to kind of free myself, and also why I have a passion for education, because I've just always loved going to school. It was like my way out.
What's your experience with Survivor? Is it a show that you've always watched? Did you come into it recently?
I came into it like maybe 4 years ago, 4 years ago. I've been like binging every season ever since, and it's just like something that I'm hooked on. Like every time the season comes out, I'm right there. Like I'm ready. Like I'm ready spaghetti. Like I love Survivor, the thrill of it, and I love talking shit from my couch, but also like I'm gonna go do it. You know what I mean? Like, and not necessarily talking shit, but being like, okay, this is what I would do. Oh, see, that makes sense. I would totally align with that group of people. I'm like, why is she doing that? Is she crazy? And now I'm going to figure out why she's doing that, or whoever that is, because I'm out here doing it myself.
Well, let's look back on the past a little bit, things you may or may not have screamed or cheered at. Give me one winner and one non-winner that you identify with the most from Survivor.
Oh my gosh. Okay, non-winner, Carla, because she's so badass, and she's a bigger woman. I've always been a bigger girl. My body weight's fluctuated so much, but she came and she conquered. It's like, what about the big girls? Heck yeah. And she's like super sociable and sassy and spicy, and I just really like identify with that. And a winner, I don't know. Everyone's going to say I look like Marianne. I really feel like that's going to happen because we're giggly and bubbly, and I feel like we have like the same cheeks, and we like always have our mouths open. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we look alike, even though she's a lot younger than I am. But I feel like socially she's really likable, and so that's something that I feel like I have like really strong social skills, and social skills like Shan too. Like she's so calculated, but she's an active listener, and that's going to be my keystone to my game, is just actively listening and trying to like fit into all these different groups of people that are forming. So
would you say that's like your biggest superpower that you're bringing in?
Oh, 100%. My social skills. Like I will crack jokes. Like I will find the perfect little moment to crack a joke and like make someone laugh and ease the tension, and they'll be like, "Oh, I want soda around." I'm like, "Yeah, you do."
Now, what's your kryptonite on the other hand?
Ooh, gosh, you know what? I feel like I don't know how I'll do physically, even though I feel like I'm a strong person. Something that really gets under my skin is like repetition of the same thing over and over again. That'll piss me off. Oh my God. Or like staring into my soul, which people are already doing. I'm like, can you please stop?
Who? People that you're...
Everyone.
Everyone?
Yes. I'll literally be minding my business, and they're like...
So now you have me like watching my own eyes, being like, okay, am I doing this? I'm not sure.
I mean those people, you know, the other players. I'm just like, oh my god. But I'm also like, I'm an empath, so feeling is a really big part of like who I am as a person, and I use feeling to educate me on how to interact with other people and to learn about other people. So that could end up being an Achilles heel, but I'm not going to make emotional decisions, but I'm going to use emotion to get the information I need to inform my decisions, if that makes sense. Or at least I'm going to try my best.
I was going to say, I mean, how tough are you anticipating that being? I mean, we saw it last season that, like, when you get to know these people, it can be so tough to crush their dreams.
I know. You just have to have some sort of mantra to kind of get you out of, to put you on autopilot in a sense. That's like, it's a game, it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. As much as that hurts and it's crushing, and I don't understand that yet. You know, I will be crushing someone's dream, or someone will be crushing my dream, or whatever, knock on wood. You have to remember that it's a game, and we're pawns in a game, and at the end, someone's going to win $1 million. I'm really trying to make that be me, and hopefully everybody can respect that, you know, so that we all come out of it, like, feeling betrayed, but being like, good fucking move.
Yeah.
Amen. You know what I mean?
Do you have a moment like that in Survivor history that's your favorite of, like, love this move?
Jesse and Cody, man. When Jesse was like, huh, and Cody was like, all right, I'm gonna dap you up. That to me is Survivor. Like, that's so good. Or when Drea, like when she got voted out and she was like, she was like celebrating and laughing and everybody was like almost hugging. That to me is like, let's do it. Like, I might hate you if you vote me out, but we're gonna hug at the end of this. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, I do want to talk about that in terms of Alliance members, because are you coming in looking for that ride or die like Jesse and Cody? Are you coming in looking for anyone in particular?
Honestly, I'm coming in trying to be as flexible as possible. I feel like that's another one of my strengths, is I'm adaptable. So I need to be able to honestly move between alliances when it's necessary. I mean, you know, riding an alliance to the end can work out. We've seen it. We saw it with Tika, you know, but also like, I feel like fluidity makes other people in different groups like kind of like you more, or have knowledge of your game more, which is also really important. So I mean, of course I'd like to have somebody who stick to the side of me, maybe number one, but somebody who's so aligned with me that we can both be like, all right, I need to go tag on this person, I need to go tag on that person. This is like, I'm describing a perfect Survivor world. It's probably not going to happen, but we'll see.
You're all about manifesting, though.
Yes,
so, like,
I am.
Let's make that perfect person happy.
I'm here right now.
Exactly.
Like, come on, anything can happen, so I'm up for it.
Let's talk about perceptions.
Ooh.
Because you mentioned it a bit with like the Mariana of it all, but how do you think you're going to be perceived?
I think people are going to think I'm funny, that I crack a lot of jokes. I have to be careful with that, because if I'm always like, if people think I'm looking to be funny and looking to be sociable too much, then that could be perceived as a threat or annoying. It could go either way, social contract. But I think people are going to perceive me as smart, calculating, adept. Like, I'm not going to try to like hide necessarily like all of my wits, because I want people to see me as useful, as like contributing something. And we'll see how I do in challenges. I personally think I'm strong. I can hold a lot of weight, you know, things like that. But I've never run a Survivor challenge. So we'll see what happens when I get out there. And that'll also alter people's perception of me, probably.
Well, let's talk about the people that have been staring into your soul for the past few days. Because I'm sure you've been looking back and making your own judgments. Well, so I know that you said you wanted to be adaptable and flexible. But is there anybody out there, any people that you get good vibes with? That you're like, best case scenario, we're on the same beach together.
Yes, I'm a vibe person. My Sodar is always looking for things that are going off. 100%. That
is incredible.
She's a real thing. My Sodar is like antenna that my feelers go at, and I'm like, what is that I smell? Like, oh, you flipped your hair a certain way. You're looking at me with a little side smile. Love it, love it. We're going to do that again later. We did it 3 times. Perfect. There's, it's just like, you'll know her when you see her. She's like so beautiful. She has like, she was wearing like orange pants and like a cute little white like top. I vibe her so hard because we are always smiling at each other, which is really hard because we're really not supposed to be like letting each other in too much. Yeah. But I would totally align with her. Who else was I really feeling? There's this chick who's dressed so wildly. She came in with a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shirt on the first day. She's got like this headband around her head and glasses on and curly red hair. Really vibe her because like the first time I looked at her, she was like, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, you're my people. Like we have a really hard time with poker faces, but we have to bring it in.
Yeah, you're not saying you'll home smell you later to her.
No. I mean, yeah, and then there's this black guy. I can say that because I'm black. He's got blonde braids. He's amazing looking. He is like so like giggly. His skin is like porcelain, and he's just like bumping, listening to his own music in his head all the time. I'm like, I want to know what you're listening to.
Yeah,
like,
his own shanthem.
I need to know that. So yeah, these are people I'm like sussing out, and I think everyone's just so beautiful. So I always want to go, oh my God, you look so great. Oh my God, tell me where you're from. Tell me about your whole life. So I'm ready to do that.
Now, is there anyone on the other side that you are saying the opposite for?
There's this one guy that I don't really know about. I'm trying not to prejudge, but he seems like that kind of guy that's like likes to be known and in the center. He's got like curly black hair and like a full black beard with like a mustache. I don't know. I'm not trying to like prejudge, but he just seems like he's cool and he's sweet, but he's also like, he's been like saying a lot of things every now and then. We're supposed to talk. So it's like, I'm like, why are you trying to make your voice audible? Where's it coming from? Why? And then oh my God, he's one of those intense stare people. And I see him intensely staring at other people. In New York, you don't do that. You get hit. You get pushed. You do not do that in New York. And I'm from New York. Okay?
I was going to say, I'm from New Jersey. Like, I understand that tri-state mentality,
You 100%
right?
get it. We do not do that. And I know we're all trying to suss each other out. I'm probably doing it, but I'm at least trying to make sure it's a passing.
Yeah.
Stop for a second, park pass, run. You know what I mean? He's like... So that's already annoying me. Like I said, it was a pet peeve. It's already getting on my nerves.
There we go. I mean, listen, no time like the present. When it comes to preparation, what have your processes been like for that?
It's been really like introspective, internal, my whys, thinking about why I'm here, like making sure I'm ready to be alone and getting comfortable with my inner monologue, which I do anyway. I'm very weird. I talk to myself all the time. I did a lot of fire making, a lot of swimming, got a pass for the YMCA, was swimming all the time, with and without a cap. Very different, by the way, swimming with a swim cap and without a swim cap.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think there are any swim caps out here on the
Hell
island.
no, it's crazy. Working out a lot, like body weight stuff, just trying to overall, like, get comfortable with those moments where I want to stop. I've been explicitly pushing myself to moments where it feels like I'm going to die, and I'm like, keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing that in a lot of my workouts just to get comfortable with being like, I cannot take a break. You know what I mean? So that's been a big part of it.
So let's talk about advantages. I'm gonna give you a scenario right now. Let's say it's like day 1, day 2. A boat pulls up at your camp, and there's a guy on it, and you know what happens. He says one of you has to go on a journey. Are you trying to put yourself on there? Are you trying to put someone else out there? How do you approach that?
I feel like you have to do some sort of thing that looks like you're not trying too hard. So like, get white rocks and a black rock, or draw sticks or something. That's my go-to, because if I volunteer, it's all eyes on me now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that early in the game, I would do that. Talk to me like maybe 7, 8, 9 days in, I would do that.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to advantages in general, is that something, because we've seen it be blessings and curses, is that something you're actively looking for?
Oh, yes. But I have to be really strategic about it, and I want to make sure like I go in a group, but we fan out a little bit, because you can't go off by yourself. You just can't. But I'm definitely going to be looking 100% for advantages, 100% for idols. But I'm going to be really wary, because with idols, there's so much fake stuff going around. Even if I did find an idol, I'd probably be excited and be like, it might be fake. So I'm going to kind of act low-key and pretend like I don't have it. And if I play it one day and it doesn't work and I go out, that's it. Because it's anything can happen. There's so much fake stuff out there.
I'm obsessed with this idea of like the true teacher and camp counselor being like, okay, everybody, field trip into the woods. We're all going to search for idols.
I would love that. I have to keep that part of me reserved. I'm a real step up, step back person. I am a leader at heart, but I also know like when to give other people agency and stuff. And I like it, again, it's the camp director teacher in me. So in a perfect world, I'd love to be like, so what should we do? How's everybody names? How are we doing? And like totally lead this whole thing, but I can't do that.
I mean, it's interesting because morale is certainly something that's like affecting at camp, and you certainly have the capacity to do so, but do you
see morale is different than leading though. Morale, I feel like, is something like, come on guys, we did our best, like, or like how are you feeling about X, Y, starting conversations, probing. I'm great at that, and I definitely, for morale, I'll be that cheerleader 100%, but like leading people explicitly in directions, I don't know if I always want to be in that seat.
Talk to me about decision making. When you make important decisions in your life, are you a gut person? Are you I have so many things to think through in my head person? Where do you ultimately lean?
You know what I think gut is? I think gut and intuition is a collection of previous experiences that are similar. So it kind of educates your stomach and sets your SODAR, in my case, off like, You know, it's not just a moment thing. It's a collection of experiences. So I definitely think I'm a gut person at first, but I also sit there and take the time to calculate any questions I have. Maybe my gut says, I don't have enough information. I need to ask questions, whether it's to myself, do I really want to do this? Or to other people, or to, other situations, or draw back in my past. Where are some missing pieces here? Okay, informed decision, we can go.
Are there any decisions that you've seen on Survivor that, to the point we made earlier, you're standing up off the couch being like, why did you do this?
Decisions?
Yeah.
What was his name? Oh my God, from that season, I can't remember. He went around telling everybody he had knowledge is power, which just took away the knowledge from the knowledge is power. I was like, why are you doing that? He was like, I don't know if you know, but I have knowledge is power. I can't remember his name right now. And I'm like, why would you do that? That's a poor decision. Actually, it's not one poor decision. It's multiple poor decisions. Why are we doing this?
What would you say is your hottest Survivor take? Something, from either a person perspective or a season perspective, or like even about the show in general.
Hottest take? Define that, please.
I mean, something that you would find probably more controversial to the general public.
I don't know. That's a really tricky question. Like things that we do in here that other people wouldn't approve of?
No, I mean things like, so-and-so isn't a good winner, or I like Final Four fire making, those kinds of things.
Oh, I get what you're saying now. Oh, these were covered in the podcast. I don't know. I'd bring back the auction.
Yeah?
It's gone. I really, really want it to come back, and I saw a gavel in the preview of season 45, so maybe that means something.
I don't know. Maybe you could look at the logo for the season. It's just a giant gavel, and all your we're manifesting again.
Would love that.
What's your dream auction item?
Spaghetti and bolognese with a glass of red wine.
That's my favorite food in the world.
Me too, literally, with a garlic bread that's chewy. I'm weird. I don't like crispy stuff.
No, I'm totally like, give me the chewier bread, the better.
Yes, with butter.
100%.
Got me titillated all now.
Well, let me finish things off with another reward-based question. If you could bring a celebrity or a fictional character out as a loved one for a loved one's visit, who would you pick?
A celebrity or a fictional character?
Uh-huh.
Can it be a celebrity from Survivor?
Yeah, sure.
Sandra.
You gotta get the queen
I just need her to say it's the queen stays queen. I need her to be in my presence. I want to hug her.
I mean, maybe she's still around, or if that giant head of hers
Oh
still
my
on the island
God.
somewhere.
I would have loved to see the destruction of that. Not that I don't like Sandra, but that is like a Mount Rushmore. Like, how do you build that thing and then destroy it?
I was there in person. It was unbelievable.
Really?
In like every sense of the syllable in those words.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, is it just like Sandra's personality, the way she plays?
Yeah, her personality and just like her overall demeanor that got her to win twice. That's some badass shit. Like, yeah. I want to be in it. I just want to be next to her, see how she moves, see her vibe. Definitely somebody I would want. Or Whitney Houston, too, because I love her. R.I.P.
Either or.
She just popped into my head. Two very different people, but Whitney, God bless her soul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that Sandra has that mama bear aspect to her, too. So, like, if you're looking for that warm hug, you can get one from her, too.
100%.
Whitney could have it as well, but, she's saying I will always love you. And you could have meaning from behind that. I guess the last thing I want to ask is, let's talk about, it's still time in the mix before things start. What are you feeling right now?
I'm ready.
You're just ready to go?
I feel like I belong here. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm just down to connect. It is so hard being in lockdown, not being able to talk to people. My soul is itching. Like, we are literally wired, if anything proves, we are wired for human connection and love and belonging. Like, it's absolutely ingrained in our DNA. And this experience of like not being able to come out of my shell yet is so unlike me. Like, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stuff I'm saying in my head to myself. I want to talk to people and hug people and like talk.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, this is going to be a very stupid analogy. It's like shaking up a bottle of soda. And now you're ready for the pop.
It's shaking up a bottle of me.
Exactly. This was so fantastic.
Yay!
It was so nice to get to know you. I'm so excited
You
to see what's going to happen over the next little bit. We'll see how long, but once you hit that beach, I've full confidence that you're gonna shine, and you're finally gonna be able to do what you want to do after all these days.
Thank you so much. I plan to win, so.
Of course. Well, we are all good on my end. You are all set.
Yay,
It was so nice
Mike.
meeting you.
Can I hug you?
Oh, please.